You think you know how to get your manifestations right, but the good thing is you don't need to know. You trying to know is hurting your manifestations. Hear me out here just for a second, because you care too much about the plan. Man will do two things to his desires, as Neville Goddard has told us, right? He will either insist on the plan. If he can figure out a plan, I want a Ferrari, I have a plan for getting it, then he will insist on that plan until he fails. Or he will not be able to come up with a plan and go back to his desire and say to himself, okay, I can't have a Ferrari because I don't know the plan, so let me just get instead a Suzuki, whatever, right? Those are the two options you recline to, but don't do it. The expressor is always before the expression. I am. I, the expressor, is always before the am, the expression. So that you want your desire is the truth. The desire knows how to fulfill itself. You get to have the desire and you get to have the fulfillment. You don't need to care about the plan, right? Before Moses says he was, I am. I'm not that well versed in biblical scripture, but I'm very well versed in Quranic scripture. And it's the same thing. You plan and Allah plan, and verily, surely Allah is the best of planners. So consciousness, the all, God, Allah, whatever you believe in, is always the best of planners and will always find the path of least resistance. So I've told you this before, right? That you will insist on God, Allah, consciousness showing reality to you in a way that you would like, instead of just listening to your inner being. So it's not hard work that will give you your manifestations. It is alignment. It is ultimate faith, surrender to what is. Pull yourself back to the present moment. That is the only thing that you need to care about. Your desire is going to express itself in your world in a way that you do not know of. You should not care about the vehicle of expression. You should not care about how it is going to show itself. You should only care about the intention of your attention. Where are you going to focus your attention? On thoughts that align with you feeling good, or thoughts that align with you clinging to that old identity of yours that don't think it can have anything. Like Neville says, right? Let me show you this notebook. Read it every day. I read several books every day, not all of the books, but I have like 3, 4 books that I will read a couple of pages in every day because they just so firmly ground me in my conviction. Neville, for example, he tells you to have the faith of a mustard seed. It's also biblical scripture. Not have the faith as little of a mustard seed. So that quote does not tell you about how much faith you should have, but in what way you should have faith. So what does the mustard seed do? It only serves one purpose, being a mustard seed. It does not identify with anything else. It does not care about the plan. It knows the divine timing. The expression is complete. And that faith is yours, and you should grab it. Take your attention back from the expression that you do not want. And this is the secret of manifestation. It's not about what you want. It's so very little about what you want. It's about who you are and what character you are choosing to express. And you know this because what does your inner being feels like, right? What does your inner being want to be? What is the expression that is trying to get out? And I've told you this in just the previous video I posted here on my YouTube channel, that the expression you don't like about yourself is telling you that that is not your expression. You are listening to another man's word, your thoughts, and that is just repetition. Take your attention back from that, express it in another way. What would you like to be? Be that mustard seed that only knows how to be that character that you would like to be, the expression you were made to be. It's really that simple. Jim Rohn told you this back in his days, where he said, you better not have a million before you become a millionaire. You won't know how to keep it. It's not the exact words, but they are very close. And that's so true. You do not need a million. You just need to become a millionaire. And for the right people, that quote will land in a perfect place. You just need to know that expression of you. So when I tell you to visualize something, it's just a vehicle to find the feeling state. And that feeling state is not an emotion. That feeling state is the belief in that you are that expression, that character. Yeah. So let's end this video soon. You do not need to know the expression. Or, that's my bad, you do not need to know the plan of that expression. You know exactly what that expression should be like. Just close your eyes. What would you like to be? Who is it that is just waiting to come out? Get out of here. Bye.